I want to briefly reintroduce myself, my life, and like this channel, and like why sometimes things are inconsistent. Although I've never been raised to give excuses, and I don't think that's what this is. I am settling into a lot of new things, so that is why I have been so inconsistent. As you guys know, if you've been watching, hi, my name's Ivana. I moved to Houston area about 2 months ago with my best friend and business partner. And for the past 2 months, I have been fully self-employed, like fully self-employed, which is fucking terrifying. But I'm gonna keep it a whole buck with y'all. I'm very proud of myself. Like, I truly am so proud of the things that I've been able to accomplish. I came from working not even a 9 to 5, literally like a 7 to fucking 7. Like, I worked sun up to sunrise. And it's funny, like, that's around the time when I started like just getting more into Instagram and things like that. And me and my one friend would Lauren actually would go and like watch sorry, this hair is just absolutely tragic. We would go and we would shoot all day. We would do, because I worked 6 days a week, 7 to 7, and at that time of the year there's no light at like before or after work, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, did everything in one day. I remember people making fun of me for like doing full on like photo shoots, like taking a bunch of pictures in one day, you know what I mean? Like, people like had negative things to say to me, which I thought was shocking and annoying, especially like anyone that understood my situation. Like, when would I have been able to take a photo? Like, literally, what the fuck are you talking about? But I stuck with it, did what I wanted to do, but yeah. Alongside that, I own a social media management agency. This is not for influencers or anything like that. This is for businesses. Right now, all of our businesses are Black businesses. It is called Black Market. You can check us out on marketwithblack.com. Yeah, that's the baby. That's my love. That's what I'm working on right now. That's what me and Alicia do. I also have a new job. And I'm so happy that I have had these other 2 things in place so that I can pick a job that is truly my dream job. I've always had just like hard working jobs. Like, my first job ever was like, I worked at Main Event at a bowling alley, like wiping tables, and then went from that to serving at a movie theater. Did that forever. It made good money for me. It was very close to my house. I got my friends involved. Like, I loved working there. It was one of my favorite jobs in the world, just from the social aspect. I made amazing friends. I met so many good people that I love today so much. And I really grew up there, honestly. And like, I grew the fuck up there. So it was awesome. And then college ended and I had to get a real job, and that's when I started working for Rent-A-Car. Is hell on earth. I mean, I don't know what the fuck else to call it. Like, it's truly hell on earth. If you are a recent grad, I totally understand the money looks good. The money looks good on paper, but it isn't worth it. Like, it really isn't. Like, I don't, because one thing I will tell you is like, I although it was good money, because looking back at my taxes, I realized I have more money now than back then. And I don't necessarily think I make more, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? I would spend so much money trying to be happy. Like, literally, because I had so little time, I would just spend money on, like, I mean, going out to dinner, and like, I had fun. Like, it wasn't a problem. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't a problem. That's just, you know, life. But I just realized now, I'm like, wow, like I was spending all that money just to sustain the will to live, pretty much, which is like hard to say. It sounds very morbid. It sounds like awful, but it's the truth. Because I remember, like, I'm looking at my bedroom floor right now, and you wake up and like that Like, that's when you decide to get out of bed and you swing your legs over the side of your bed. I remember every day that I went into, I would just look at my feet and be like, I can't believe that I'm about to go do this again. Like, I really couldn't believe it. I didn't, and I kept questioning. It was every time questioning what in me wanted to do this or could do this, or like, I was just so like, I literally, it felt like autopilot. Like, it was just like, and it sounds awful, morbid, trigger warning, so sorry. But I also was like, wow, I can't believe that you are still alive. Like, truly, like, that you didn't want to, like, I'm serious. And I know that sounds like, girl, just get another job at that time. And like, and with my work ethic and how many hours it is, first of all, it's like, it's designed like that so that it's very hard to find a job while working. And I just wasn't raised like that. You know what I mean? Like, I was always, told you're blessed to have a job. You are blessed to have a job. But at the same time, I've also was raised to know that if you find something that you love, it will never feel like work a day in your life. So it's those two things that like I just grappled with. And I remember talking at Enterprise over and over about how much I wanted to fucking leave. You know what I mean? Like, I was just like very vocal about it. COVID hit, I was laid off. So now I have my absolute dream job. There were things that happened in between that, a whole year where I worked at an office where I honestly had the easiest job ever. Besides the fact that it started literally at 6 a.m., I would be at work, clocked in at 6 a.m. almost every day. I'm sorry, that's a lot. I know maybe to some people like, whatever, time is time, but I'm like, yo, 6 a.m. is a bit much, y'all. Like, it just was. But I got used to it. Didn't complain. It was what it was. It was the most easiest job I've ever had. I've actually posted on my Instagram about how easy it was. I could literally sleep. There are people who literally just slept at their desks. It was one of the craziest working environments I've ever been in my life. Like, I've never, like, I didn't get phone calls. I didn't get emails. Like, no one told me shit. It was perfect for the introvert part of my life because I was able to work on Black while at work. I was able to edit videos and things at work. It was very loose. Anything I could do on my phone, I could do. You know what I'm saying? So it was the perfect job for that moment, but it put me in a place where I was so effing comfortable. Like, it was like surreal. That's the job I moved away from to come to Houston. It was hard and it wasn't, I had no emotional connection there. There was no connection to it except for the fact that it was security, and they gave me a raise. They gave everybody a raise. They gave everybody a huge raise right before I left, literally the month that I left. Like, Alicia moved here into this apartment about a month, maybe 2 months before me. Because of this raise, I was just like, fuck, I don't know what to do. I didn't know what to do. Obviously, I paid rent. I went back and forth. I had all my stuff here. This was my residence, but I lived with my boyfriend and, made it work. So I wasn't looking for jobs at that time. I didn't have time because I had other commitments and things like that. That was a time where I literally, like, that month, I think I pretty much tripled my income from every aspect. We took on more clients at Black. We doubled our clientele at Black. That the same month that I took on probably, I think it was 3 high-paying collabs, as well as I got the raise. So there was a lot going on, and it was perfect because I'm about to move and I'm about to kind of enter the unknown, but it was also like, it was an extreme grind. I don't remember a lot of that month. It was just insane. And then eventually I got the balls to just, like, I can't live in 2 places. It was too much. It was just too much. And it was never the plan. Like, I wanted to live here. And so I did. I quit and I moved here, and I started looking for jobs. And I honestly just buckled down for 1 week, probably after a month, because I had more collabs and I had things that I needed to get done and off my plate. And it was just, this is the money that's coming in. I can't, like, maybe to some people it's like, oh, you need a job first. But I'm like, this is a job. Like, this is money. Like, someone's literally emailing me about money. What should I do? Like, what, this is what I'm good at. This is where I am being asked to be. You know what I mean? But still in me, it's like, I have to work on my self-talk. And as you know, I think a lot of people do. That's why I'm very open with it, because I feel like yeah, I call myself a dumb bitch, and I need to stop. But it's normal, especially if you have a certain sense of humor and things like that. And it is what it is. I applied for this position maybe a month ago, maybe more than that, a month and a half. And I remember I did the voice interview, and I was just so like, there's certain times in my life where I've redone things. Like I've done it and I did it over, and when you just don't, when you really perfect something, and it's not something that, like, I say that kind of like someone is like, duh. And I'm like, no, I don't think you understand. I don't do that. I'm very like one and done. I don't, because I think that's how it was in school. I'm just like, I'm one of those people that like, I don't want to say like, oh, I'm super smart, but I've never studied. I never made great grades either. And I'm so excited. So I work now for an interior designer. She is amazing. Her work is amazing. We vibe on a very different level as far as a lot of things. Honestly, it's after my first week, and I've told her things that I don't tell a lot of people. You know what I mean? Like, I've gotten very vulnerable. She has with me, and I really appreciate that. So I do feel very connected, but I also feel very connected to her art. It's very neutral. It's all up my alley. Like, it's really like a bit of me. Like, it's so good. And I've been in such a state of gratitude since I have started this job, because it doesn't feel like work. Like, I'm excited to go to work tomorrow. I'm excited to get work done and things like that. I never thought that I would have this at 25. Like, and maybe to some people, it's like, oh, we're all supposed to be millionaires by 22. Yeah, fuck that shit. Fuck that shit. Stop with that. Like, that is like the most annoying thing. Like, I hate that, like, hyper unrealistic, like, no, I think it's just like a very, like, it's like overhyped. But I am very grateful at this age, at such a young age, I stuck to my guns, and I didn't go back to what was easy and what I knew, just because of security and things like that. Like, I've become very comfortable with ambiguity in my life and not really knowing where my next check is coming from. It just is what it is, especially as an entrepreneur. That just is what it is. And I went to school for entrepreneurship, so I knew that this was a part of the lifestyle. But it does always feel good to have a job and have security and have just like some where I don't want to rely on all these other things, and I can save my money. That's the most important thing, is I just want to be able to save and invest and just have financial fucking freedom. That's really it. Being able to do that with everything I do, I love. And I've just been saying that over and over to myself, because it's so surreal. Everything I do, I love, and everything I do, I get paid for. I just like, I feel so blessed, and part of me is like, how did this happen? Like, why me? Like, it's almost like I almost feel guilty. Like, that's how surreal it is to me. Like at the same time, it's also like, I put up with a lot of shit. You know what I mean? Like, I put up with a lot of stress. I put up with a lot of not knowing. I put up with a lot of people doubting me, telling me things that weren't encouraging. Like, I'm so happy at my resilience, and and that's something that I wrote about in college. I remember, like, the first college essay I ever wrote was about resilience and like instilling fortitude in children. And I don't know, it's just like, fuck, like, there are certain times in your life, and I want every woman to feel this way, like, to feel so empowered and to feel so like a bad bitch. Like, that's like, I have like, my self-esteem is through the roof right now. And sometimes I hate that it has to be like tangible things like this. Like, I guess, but also it's like, it's not even that. Like, it's not money at all. Like, that's not it. Like, the sense of security, the sense that I have been able to do these things that people have doubted that I could do. It's surreal, and I'm so happy, and I'm just very grateful. Like, I'm just so fucking grateful and happy to be who I am. And that's something that, like, I just want everyone to feel this feeling. Like, truly, I want every fucking person to feel this feeling. I don't want anyone to feel that feeling of getting up and being so dissatisfied with your life that you cannot believe that you're still going. You're just like, wow, this is crazy. Like that's so important to me. Like, I want to say someone famous, maybe even Dolly Parton. I don't think so, though. I love her so much, though. But it was just like, it was basically like, you can always pick up, move, and start a new life. And that is the truest shit in the world. Like, you can always decide to be who the fuck you want to be and decide what you will accept in life. I'm no longer accepting a 7 to 7 job. I work 10 to 4 now. That's fucking amazing. The 3 things I want to accomplish is a better routine, working out. I have neglected my body for far too long, and it will betray me, and I cannot let that happen. And I don't mean that in any sort of aesthetic way, like how I look. That's not it at all. It's 100% my health. And recently I got sick. And I didn't eat. And frankly, I was also going through withdrawals because I've recently taken a break from smoking. So when you do that, it's very hard to eat. And I knew that. I kind of knew what I was doing with that. I was like, well, if we're going to do it, we're going to just, if you're going to not want to eat, you know what I mean? Like, just, I don't know. It's a very hard thing to explain. And I don't want to trigger anybody, but I do not have an eating disorder. I ruined my appetite with weed. That's what happened. I did it to myself. I know this about myself. I've quit before for months and months at a time. I don't know my longest. I didn't care to track it. But now that is, you know, I mean, that's one of my biggest problems in life. I wouldn't say it's a big problem, but weight fluctuation and appetite is a problem in my life. And my appetite is back now. That's why you're hearing from me, because baby, when I'm not eating, I am not happy. It's still on its way back. Like, I eat very small portions at a time. But soon, in the next week or two, like, I will be a monster. Like, it'll be like, I will not be able to get enough. But right now, it's like I can finally feel hungry again, and I'm eating. It's a new rhythm of my life. So I'm really excited about that. Don't want to promote this as something that has helped me achieve balance, because that's not it at all. Like, the only thing that's helps me achieve balance is discipline. But I did a thing. I think that's how some people in my life would view it. Basically, for a while since college, I remember my parents came and visited me, and we went to Austin, and we were chilling on this balcony, and I opened up to them that I didn't know what it was. And I was just like, I'm so distracted all the time. Like, I feel like something's wrong, basically, is what I told them. I've gone through, I've been depressed. I've had anxiety. You know, it's not that. This was something else. It was almost like something like cognitive. I've had trouble testing before. That's like literally my whole life. I've had trouble testing. My parents have known this. So I've recently, that conversation happened probably 3 to 4 years before this. And I'm the kind of person who is I don't ask anybody twice. I really don't. I'm not going to ask for anything twice. I'm very independent. I just go and I do what I need to do for me. And so I went and I got myself medicated I started medication for ADHD. And one of my parents was shocked. I think both of them were pretty shocked, even though, to me, I brought it up, you know, and I don't expect them at that grown age to just go and, like, take me to the doctor or anything like that. Like, that's my responsibility. But I was shocked that they were, you know, I guess I never really talk about my struggles with it enough for them to be like, oh, okay, that made sense. Like, they thought like, oh, like this is like just kind of like a quick fix. Questioned about because I was unemployed, is that why you're getting, and not from my parents, but from other people that I love. And I understand their confusion, because it's something like, I don't talk about my vulnerabilities a lot. I don't talk about how hard it was for me to focus, or how hard every day was to get things done, and in the way that I would talk to myself. Like, that's the thing. I think it is misdiagnosed often in women because they think it's depression or anxiety and things like that. But really, anything that made me depressive was really myself not accomplishing my goals, and how I would talk to myself, because a lot of my self-worth is linked to my productivity. And that's a little fucked up, and I'm working on that. But yeah, I've been medicated now for about like a month and a half. I'm very new, but I immediately felt amazing difference. It doesn't change your life. That's not why I have a better job or a better life. Like, all those are things that like have been a long time coming, and things I've worked hard for. But it's more so, I can now have one consistent thought. I can focus for longer. I'm very happy with this change. It's so subtle. The man that helps me with this was very much right about how I would feel, and I'm very happy with this feeling. And when I have been inconsistent with my medication because I'm new to it, and not very inconsistent. I've been somewhat inconsistent. I've had inconsistencies, and I didn't notice like a crazy difference at all, or even was like, oh, I need to take my meds. Like, I have never had that feeling. So it just feels very good that I think I made the right decision for myself. I'm very happy with it, but at the same time, I was concerned. I was worried that I would lose a part of me, and a part of my wit, or my, you know what I'm saying? Like that zest, I think, that people with ADHD kind of have, that superpower that comes with, like, I just like even when I was anxious and frankly at a time in my life when I was suicidal, like, I don't regret those times. Like, there is a power in mental illness. I think there is, what's sad is untreated mental illness, when things go too far. But there is a power in having that perspective. The empathy that I have for people is like, I remember waking up. I remember when I stopped being like shallow. I would remember, because it was from a traumatic event, this and that. But I just don't regret any of it. Like, I really don't. Like, I didn't do it to myself. It is what it is. But like, I'm so happy that I had gone through something like that, gone through something so big, because it makes you a better person. And I'm glad that like I've lived with ADHD for as long as I guess I have. I don't know. And now to understand the difference is it is a superpower. Like, the empathy that you gain, the perspective that you gain, the understanding that you gain, like, oh, it's just like, it's truly incredible to me. And yeah, I'm just proud, and that's where I'm at. And I'm just honestly ready to turn it the fuck up. Everything I do, I just like, it's like, all right, all my pieces are where they need to be. I just want to turn this bitch up. So I'm so motivated. I'm so excited, but at the same time, I lack discipline. So that's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna work on. I'm really excited. I'm sorry if this was a long reintroduction to who I am, but I think this background is so necessary. I feel very misunderstood because I don't talk about my vulnerabilities. It's just not my thing, especially because I do feel very privileged. I feel like I've had a very good life. I have amazing parents. I have an amazing family. I have amazing friends. I now have an amazing career. like, who gets all of those things? It overwhelms me how much God has blessed me. This is a pivotal part in my life. This is who I am. This is where I've come from. I'm about to start a new year with a completely new life, and I'm so excited to take you guys with me. If you like this video, don't forget to leave it a like. If you like me, don't forget to subscribe. If you want to see more of me, you can always check me out on my Instagram, Yvonne Brooke. And I hope this video found you in the best place possible. And I will see you in my next one. Bye.